dedication ceremony in Century High School on March 8th at 4 o'clock. So everyone is welcome. I'm not going to be showing you the video just because of the sound issues that we're having, but we do have a video that you can check and see through this QR code. I am going to be sharing this presentation as well with you. So I will be sending it to probably Frank at the city. So if anyone wants to see, you can also hold up your phone right now and then get the video into your phone by scanning the QR code. And we want to continue making these beautiful improvements on our buildings because research has shown that it makes a difference even academically for our students of 5 to 17 percentile points. When students do have nicer buildings, we see an increase in those scores. And so we do want to make sure that we are providing the best facilities for our students leading towards graduation. We continue to work on our graduate profile, and we have a community team, which is called Superintendent's Advisory, that is working on deconstructing all the different components, what it means, how we measure it, as well as in our district office, we're looking at specific metrics that will go with each goal. How do we measure that our students are getting the confidence that they need, the communication skills, the collaboration skills? How do we know that they are becoming the architects of their lives and they're knowing how to make good decisions as they move forward? And here we have it in Spanish as well. We have 3 areas that the district is focusing on: literacy, numeracy, reasoning, and solving complex real-world problems, as well as we're working on developing skill sets, career communication, cultural self-awareness, collaboration, teamwork, financial literacy, and technology. And we want them to be architects of their lives, knowing how to make positive decisions that are going to impact not only their community, but their world. We've had some great things going on over the holidays, and I wanted to give a big shout out to Carl Benninger. He always donates toys for our SENA event. We were able to serve over 3,000 families this year through both SOS and SENA. We're very grateful to the entire community who steps up, donates toys so we can get them out to families. This year we were able to provide bags, wrapped bags that we sent out to the different school sites, and they distributed them. Right now we're working on the Great Kindness Challenge, and you'll see lots of posts if you follow any of our schools. They're working on how to be a good friend, how to be kind to others, which is something that we really do need in our world, and how to take care of each other. Our FACE department, Family and Community Engagement, has been working on providing parent education classes at the different sites. Here are a few examples of the work that they do. We connect with Santa Ana College. We're able to provide computer classes, English classes, and also personal development and leadership classes at school sites. And we've been trying a new model where they may be at one school site and then they're zooming into from another school site. So then the classes are more easily accessible for many people. We also have food distributions. We know with the high price of foods, the high prices of food, that we do have more families and more of our community that's in need. Every month we post this. It's posted on our website as well as through social media, and you can see where food is offered, what dates throughout the month at which schools. So we just wanted to make sure that we share that with the community. There are others that we work in collaboration with Seva Collective. They do it on Saturdays at the district office, but this is just a sampling of some of the work that we've been doing. We wanted to let you guys know that we've got some fantastic plays coming up through our visual and performing arts department. We have Les Mis is going to be at Santa Ana High School for March 1st through 4th. The Little Mermaid is going to be at Godinez High School, February 23rd through the 25th. You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and I'm sorry I didn't post the school. We're waiting for their flyer. It's going to be at Valley, and then The Descendants is going to be at Sagerstrom. We just got notification of that. And then we're going to be starting our Boca de Oro Literary Festival, March 4th through the 6th. We'll be sending more information. We wanted you to save the date. Month of February is going to be the We Care campaign. In Santa Ana, we've started this campaign. We were the first to do it, and it's a suicide prevention campaign. We're going to be offering excellent classes to parents and the community from D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services. Everyone is welcome to find out about risk factors, myths, warning signs, and then also who to turn to for help. We wanted to make sure that everybody knows the number 988, because 988, it's the suicide hotline and it's for everyone. They changed it so it's not a big long number. You call 988 and then you're able to get connected to get help and support. Through our campaign, we want to make sure that not only our students, but that our staff, that our families, and let our community know that we care. We want you to get help. We're here for you. So we wanted to make sure that everybody knows about these resources. They are not just for the families and the students, they are for our entire community. We also want to let you know about upcoming dates. In February. We have Lincoln's birthday. We also have on February 17th. It's a student-free day. And February 20th is Washington's birthday. That's a school holiday for us. And then March 4th, we had to put in, of course, don't forget the Boca de Oro begins. You can see our updated calendars on our district website. So we invite you to go there. Please make sure that you're following us. You can get more information and find out about what's happening in our schools, what services that we're offering through our district, and just make sure that you connect with us. And of course, there's our numbers and our websites. I really do apologize, you guys. I don't know if someone can chat to me any questions. I think I saw Leonel there, or Carl, or Frank. If anybody has any questions that they would like for me to answer, I do apologize. The sound is not working coming this way.
You're not down the auditorium and Downey. That auditorium will be gutted, and it hasn't been remodeled since the school started in the 60s.
Sorry, I'm trying to call Frank's because maybe he can tell me the question via the phone.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Frank. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Yes.
There was a recommendation for Valley, the remodeling of Valley Auditorium to be included.
Oh, okay. I can't make any promises because I'm not in charge of that, but I will make sure that our facilities department knows what the recommendation is.
I have the pictures already. I can help you on posters on the outside. I could be like.
Frank?
Yeah, I know, Frank, if you're going to pick this up, but I will support your play with the school. I'm always impressed with you. I'm going to make it very good. It's not a running and then school with the children. And the other one will never be there for a while. It's very good.
Frank, I couldn't hear that.
I'll summarize. I'll send you an email.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, everyone. And I do apologize. I'll try logging back in to see if I can get the sound to work. Thank you.
You know, all those holidays, they can watch and everything else. It's my birthday is March 8th, right? We're very fortunate tonight, and we're having some representatives from Washington Square. And all the good press, how they've been organized, they're going to talk about their neighborhood association. Do we have any folks?
This person, I guess, I don't know, they won't. Maybe they're. Okay.
Was this first time to speak in front of the group?
I'm Pat again. I moved to California in Chicago after the winter of 70, infamous winter of 78. I first moved to Irvine and then had a good sense to move to Santa. And I lived in Washington Square for about 8 years. I had been there a lot because I had friends from there. And I told friends who came from that piece about it, and they don't believe that a neighborhood like this exists. We get together, we do things. Needless to say, the pandemic put a light on all of our get-togethers. So in 2021, we decided one thing we could do was to have a Christmas decorating contest. It didn't require a lot of person-to-person contact. It was a huge success. So this year I said, why don't we add Halloween? Another success. And then if you drove through Washington Square this Christmas, you saw Candy Cane Lane on Towner Street. It was magnificent. I want to say that because it was done, but, so we're back to our activity. We have several, mini little libraries for the kids and some for the adults. We have the progressive dinner, goes through 3 different houses. And for appetizers, main course, and dessert. We have the wine walk. And this year we've decided we're going to do that at one house instead of 3. So that the band can be there the whole time and we can relax and enjoy it. We just think about it on the video. We have the chili cook-off. And we have Oktoberfest. And we have a movie in the park. This past summer, we did Encanto. It was wonderful. And so there were great things, you know, we had the popcorn and hot dogs and all of these other things for the kids. I have a feeling the adults enjoyed reading more than the kids, but it was great. And so there were lots of different things that we do in Washington Square. For the last, obviously, 3 years, I've been, like everybody else, doing the meeting by Zoom. So it's hard to say that I'm no longer free to be the Washington Square Common Rep, but I want you to meet my wonderful neighbor and friend, Sarah. Sarah Comarruzias, who lives on Freeman. And she has lived in Santa Ana for over 3 years, if you can believe it. I can't. And she does talk a little differently.
Can you hear me out there? Well, I don't know how many of you know much about Washington Square, but we are actually located across Civic Center from here at the police station. We have about 634 houses or living homes there. Most of them are so it's just a beautiful neighborhood with all kinds of historical, well taken care of homes. Hearing it now? Okay. Founded in 1985. And in the early 1980s, the neighborhood expanded together because across the street there was a proposed project for a high density apartment building. And the neighborhood said, no way, that's too big for traffic and parking issues for the neighborhood. They banded together, got that shot down, and formed the neighborhood association. They've done a couple other things since then. They've helped stop the open air swap meets. There was one at Santa Ana Stadium, one over at Santa Ana College, and because of the traffic issues and people parking in the neighborhood, that was stopped. They also were involved in getting the stadium. There was a proposal to have the stadium become a professional arena. That was stopped thanks to our neighborhood and probably some of the other neighborhood associations. Pat will tell you a little bit about some of our events. I'm part of the she got covered the main events. But one of the things that the neighborhood has done is we have installed cement trash cans on strategic corners because we have 2 elementary schools, and of course the kids come in with, you know, using their candies and stuff. So now they have a place to throw their candy away, and the public has been kind enough to make sure that those are empty once a week. The other thing is we have food bags, dog food bags. We have a few also in strategic areas because there are lots of dogs that we have to watch. We have dogs. You know, we pretty much eliminated accidents on lawns. And we have a Facebook page, and we also have a very nice neighborhood newsletter. So I've been left a few back there, if anybody wants to take a look at it. Don't have all the neighborhood newsletters, but if you're interested, give me or give me a call, and I can put you in touch with the people who are in part of ours. And that's it. Okay. Any questions? Yes. On all of the events that you have, do you fundraise for that? How do you make that on?
That's a good question. We charge. So like, if you, for the chili cook-off, if you're gonna make it chili, you don't have to pay each one of your guests, otherwise it's $25. So we cover all the costs of renting the tables and chairs and all the other stuff that we have to do by the money that we charge for those minutes.
Are you folks still on 503 citywide?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes. We're not involved. And we work hard to keep it straight.
We have some good things like when someone new moves into the area, we have someone in the neighborhood who writes a welcome letter. Someone dies, and we have an condolence letter and things sent to the family. So we're just doing everything we can to try and keep the neighborhood together.
How many people are on your staff, and how do you get people to continue to volunteer into your board?
Well, we just had elections this month, earlier this Sunday here at school. We're still in need of a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and then at least 4 other board members. And then we have committees. We have the hospitality committee. We have the volunteer committee. So the volunteer committee, for example, the chairperson will make sure that we have enough help for all of the activities that we have. I forgot to mention Santa Claus and Christmas and Christmas art show and things like that.
Yeah, with Santa Claus coming to help them deliver cookies and cupcakes, which is nice.
And then we have one of our residents takes charge of putting the newsletter together, and everyone of us will bring part of it. I do the dog article. The newsletter. And then we usually have the story that one of our residents about, and then other kinds of things. We started other activities within the neighborhood. Board game night, we do that on the 3rd Wednesday of the month at people in Iowa. And and we have other game night kind of things that we do that are smaller groups, but it's just, it's all open.
For your larger events, can you give us an idea of how many people attend?
I think 75 to 100 maybe, and they're all sold out. They're all sold out. You know, we haven't really had to do it. Pardon me? When you have a function of other neighborhoods invited? No, it's free, it's just for Washington Square. Unless you have a friend that you bring from another neighborhood.
Was there an Asian like the only one percentage people
So that's something that we always want to increase. We try to diversify, for example, in the newsletter, to have different articles to appeal to different things. One of my neighbors is going to write a recipe. She's an excellent cook baker, so she's going to do a recipe a month or a recipe for every issue. We try and recruit as much as we can, especially the newer members. We try and find a way to engage them so that they become part of it and want to stay part of it.
And our events are sold out, you know,
Yeah, this last year, Oktoberfest was during a thunderstorm.
You did money in the deed, you are, the deed is current organization, you know, tax. And they're really under their charitable contributions is working with the city to put on growth. Some neighborhoods that want to do that, you have to understand that what you under charity.
Right.
No, you have to. You have to. There's a treasure.
Where are most of your events held? Most of our events are they're held within Washington Square. So we have a kind of a cul-de-sac where we do movie night. The last, one of the newer things that's added a couple of years ago was the car show, the December car show, and that's right on Calendar Street, and there's a Santa Claus there. We also have Santa Claus at a house on Washington, and then for like the chili cook-off, the rest of dinner, and a program that we recruit camp hours for that.
We're not doing, the police department or Carson Rec for any of your events.
Occasionally, if we, for example, like the car show, we had no parking on Tower Street that from 8 to 1 or something that particular day. And we encourage neighbors, not all of our streets have permit parking. So if you have an event on a street with permit parking, we make sure that that neighbor has enough parking permits to give to the other neighbors who might be driving.
As you can tell, they're more developed neighborhood than others. We've also have had a number of major issues, like the stadium, like the building which want to be built, and I've worked with the stadium and appreciate the complex and it's not. And so my neighborhood was formed out of crisis of building the high school. And unfortunately, everything's compromised. It's a little hard to get people involved when you don't have an issue. What you do, you're able to get them in, and they really take it, and this was all the years they have experience. I'm a group where I can't. They explain before they have to.
And Bristol Street lighting was one of the other argument points and issues because it backs up on Lee Street and how that was going to affect neighbors, and McDonald's having to put up a wall higher because their lights were going into the neighbor's backyard and things like that. So try to do as much as we can.
The boundary is really sitting to the center, right? 17th Street, Bristol, yes, not
Were you on the handful of the comment? What are you doing with stuff? Bigger associations here. Because problems are very good. And you and I wish you do that. And I wish it's where and the work on the family, we have one of these got to get something started together. So I thought maybe you were one of these two. You know,
you say it. We're running a presentation right now. By our senior citizen consultant, Mavis, and all of the things are available to cover. For the program, we have speakers. Today, I've always heard that everyone knows the names. Okay, I'm trying to play myself on Christmas. He's 40 years old, one of his friends. Still, I have to stay on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Margaret. I'm my colleague, Holly. I will be going over some of the community development programs that we have to offer. We're here to provide information regarding our community development program. Some of the forms will be getting passed out to you, as well as annual action plan. And I'll go a little bit over the kind of information. We're working on the annual action plan, which is due at the end of November. It will be a big package of 72 pages.
If you want to get more details on it, I'll be sure to use my business card so you can get it online. You should actually view, or I can mail it to you, put it in that you complete it. But the purpose of reviewing it, and provided the feedback and changes that you are seeking in the annual action plan is an application so that we can submit the site in order to be able to carry out what we need in the program. One of them is the BBG, which is designated to benefit low and moderate income persons, to benefit increase the form of housing, jobs, and services. So, for example, although if you, and I know I may not have enough worksheet for the ones that always, but if you look at the bottom, there's a picture on the left side that just has a loan. So basically, those are three improvements inside of that's part of the CDBG funding. The picture, the second picture is money for part, which is located on the facility. And that was actually a big part of the city came over and it became an error. The third picture is the legal library. We're actually working on getting windows. So you can kind of have an idea of what it means and PDP funds actually cover. Besides that, we're also the focus here, the city just purchased a lot right here on Flower instead. They're pretty good get those in down to here, and they're gonna agree with our. So that's what I'm doing right now. The construction of the facility can be presented in the library. They're actually going to be able to remove and the outlet the fire is getting an upgrade. So you'll be seeing those changes. Public services, America on track. Then you get the record of America on track. Yes. Yes. You have to hear. We provide things to be more research to provide services. So there's a lot of different services that we will cover. That's just one of the main components. We also have the micro enterprise program which will be launching in February for those businesses that have been in the range for 3 years. For that, an operation to apply for a $5,000 grant. They're able to receive reimbursements for insurance, salary, utilities, and education. Those are all things that you're able to find online, and for any reason, obviously you can just contact me directly. I love the information to your David, but I will give you the business part in the back in case you have more detailed questions. But we really look into the feedback overall, and that action plan may be going around, and I know it's a lot of detailed information. But we want to hear from you, just see what information you want in whether it's your neighborhood, whether it's I want those are all things that obviously we would work. They're here to provide really with that service. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give information regarding some of your programs. Some of you, maybe not all of you, have the 3 pages. So if you go to the second page on the back, it's the home program. I helped you administer that program. A lot of that money is right now being used for affordable housing development. So it's mainly for developers that come to the city to provide affordable housing for seniors, people with disabilities, also foster youth and that sort of thing. Every so often there is money available for rehab. So homeowners, if you keep an eye out, we're going to be posted about grants available to do repairs to your home, such as making the ADA accessible. Those things become available every so often. If you go to the last page, that is about feeding the information grant. That money is specifically used for homeless services. So we have a specific amount of money that goes towards shelter operations and also to organizations in the community that are helping to get people off the streets and into housing or spaces of need. We also provide some money to communities that they do an outreach to help go out with communities and get people services so that they can get everything.
I have a question. Yeah. Is the ESPs, is that to dispatch all when they're in a situation with a homeless person who is in dire need?
So ESG is the funding source, and part of the money does go to the heart team, which is through PD. So they have a few different teams that do things for homeless in the community. The money that we give goes towards a specific team. I know there's there's something else. There's the key. There's a few other teams, but, part of the money that we do is street outreach. They go out, they connect people to services, and then they put them in the coordinated connecting system so that they can be, they can get any sort of service that they need throughout the county. Because some people might not have the next Santa Ana, so that's one of the things we to find out where can they get the services that best fit.
So you're the fund.
Yes.
My second question, this organization was given the $500 grant to the, neighborhood association. That needs to come out all the time. Why don't we find new grants for the neighborhood?
That might have been economic development, which is separate from these. Any other questions?
Are you the department that, assists with like down payment assistance?
Yes, so that is the other program that I help to run. We do CDBG funding for down payment assistance, and also other funding sources. If anybody wants specific information on that, I do have some flyers that I brought with me. But right now I am helping first time home buyers to purchase home in Santa Ana. So people do have to purchase within the city, right? And at this moment, I'm helping about 1 to 2 families a month purchase a home and have it down payment. So it's been really successful. My business card or information for an application, you can let me know. I can handle those. Yeah, so more information on the program. So for down payment, if a family is low income, we have those income limits in our application. Family can get up to $120,000 of down payment assistance. It's a 0% interest loan, and they don't have to make a single payment on it for 45 years, or if they sell a home. And if they're moderate income, they can get $80,000. And so we use CPG money for that. We have other funding sources, but we never run out of money. We just keep finding new sources to fund the program. The program has been around for 20+ years, so it's always available. So if anybody ever comes across the who wants to purchase their first home, this is always available. So we have a policy, for down payment, I am not sure if there's one. I know other counties do have programs, but they don't always have funding available, and it goes pretty easy. So it all depends on, of course, how that program is structured. I know sometimes the county Warren also has a program, that might just go quickly. So they do post. They usually post things about it when it's available, and I've been putting them on our webpage as well that comes available in other areas, so people are aware of it. Because sometimes programs in like 40 counties can also be used in the Santa Ana as well. So everything can kind of struggle together. Well, not the difference.
If there is like, like a couple, they want to buy a house for the first time, but they don't have no children, they can qualify to go into program to buy a house?
Yeah, so couple.
Yeah.
So yes, any type of household makeup usually, but everybody who's an adult who will be living in the house is on the market. So that's one of the stipulations. So sometimes you could have an adult file or things. Usually they have to be on the market with you. But the entire household, anybody who will be living there, counts for their household size, and that makes it so you can qualify under different income levels. So we're not just looking at if you're a 4-person household and you have 2 adults with income. We're not just saying, oh, there's 2 people making income, you're a 2-person household, we're saying, oh, you're a 4-person household, which can actually be a better bracket to maybe people.
Because I know a family, they did an apartment also here, and then, like they just, people working, and they say they got so many girls to, to buy a house because they have so many impossible for them to buy a house. And so that is my, I have this question.
Yeah, and it is pretty difficult right now for those that are small, and
The trend right now is condo purchases for families that are going through our program because it is an easier price point to meet. And when you're able to do 120,000 or, $400,000 purchase, it does help, but it still can be difficult for some families. But that is the trend. And right now, everything's been around 450 to low 500. So, thank you so much. Any other questions for Brenda, myself? Yeah, I have my card, I have flyers, so if people would like, I think I have this family flyer, I have an evening flyer.
It's probably from the middle of my day, but fortunately, in Michigan, they have a plan like this 2 years ago, that's higher than my food cost. They won't get it down about here. Well, I had to pay it down.
Okay, so this was 25 years.
Thank you, very appreciative. And thank you for the program. I see it come through it. There's a couple things in that I just want to point out to you. One of them is wire on sidewalk steady. If we haven't noticed, we have a lot of sidewalk all over the city. And there's a lot of study. This was put together by plans. We're talking after the come the next meeting to office. The road for all the food places we see along our streets. And it's thanks to a law passed by our Senate that allows us to happen. So anyway, we give you good explanation, what's legal and what's not legal. Also back there is a beautiful calendar, calendar 2023. The city calendar. So it's kind of funny, before I got this, I was saying to myself, oh, yeah, somebody beautiful girl in the city. And would you do something? So, what do they have? Every month, have a little girl with little appreciations too, which, you know. Also have 4 days in the city, they all closed. You can see, so you always find shoes down on the back. There's also another, bring you. They made it, and this is the Addison partner. And what they've gotten together with BCI and are starting to look at air pollution. We have what considers air pollution in the city. So they're going to have a meeting, scheduled to be 31st, next week, Tuesday at Bell High Center, talking about the progress that they're making. And we have a good speaker here to talk about. I apologize for the chat, but that's not appreciated.
Thank you, Carl. Is there anyone, I think this is not service. English. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Gilbert Joyce. I'm resident of the Madison Park Neighborhood Association. And I'm here on behalf of Green and Community, nonprofit created by the residents of the neighborhood. Just wanted to invite you all. Thanks to the day, we're having a state meeting at the Bell High Center, Tuesday, January 31st at 6 p.m. We've invited the city of Santa Ana and the South Air Quality Management District. There's a regulatory agency that oversees the air quality here in our region, and they're the ones that are supposed to be regulating what's being put out into our air. The reason we're doing this is the large industrial corridor in southeast Santa Ana that we're concerned about, and we think is not being regulated. But we think that's contributing to Santa Ana being in the top 10% for highest air pollution in the state. So because of that, we've created a resident committee that focuses on this issue of air pollution. We have an air monitoring system that we're building here in the city of Santa Ana. So if you're interested in learning more, I'll be here available to talk to anyone. I have a few flyers. We do have an internship review that is paid if they want to participate in this committee. I'm welcoming residents that are interested in having air monitors in their homes, totally free. You just need to be connected to power and internet. No cost. You can keep them for the rest of your life if you like, or for a short period of time and use those. To analyze air quality here in the city, we look for our study, but it's from Linkage. So if anybody else wants to look into it, or do studies related to the air, they can do something tomorrow. So yeah, so hopefully you all can join us on Tuesday. We'll be at the Delhi Center starting at 6 p.m.
You said you had a fire effector?
Yeah, so it's a green one.
Okay.
They both are doing we're in collaboration with Air UCI, Department of Air Research that we know to be a California.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much.
You say right now, did you not take care of the fire? Stand.
Sure, so yeah, we did do a little pilot study during the 4th of July. We also tried to do it during Christmas and New Year's, just because, you know, Santa, we took infamous the firework usage, especially legal firework usage. And we use for air monitors as well as the old monitors that we have called Atmos tubes. They're about the size of a cell phone, and then air monitors actually have this one right here. This is what they look like. You just hang it up outside as a power cord. We connect to the power. They run 24/7. And we basically use it to compare and test air quality across different regions. And these are also available to purchase to the public. Just we purchase our own set, so we can put out into Santa Ana. But if anyone wants to purchase their own, we can do that as well. We're offering it for free. But we use that data to look at the firework usage around the 4th of July. One of the biggest things we noticed. I wish I could share, but here in Santa Ana, you could see a very distinguished between, let's say, Santa Ana and Irvine, which is our closest neighbor. Obviously, Santa Ana allows the safe and sane fireworks. The city of Irvine does not allow any fireworks at all. And if you were to look at that map, it's on a color scale from green to like burgundy purple. All of Santa Ana was in purple. On a normal day, it will read about 8 to 20 particles in the air. Whenever it takes a measurement, that day, every second was picking up in the green line. But if you look at the city of Irvine, most of their colors were still in yellow or maybe orange, and they were all below 100. And so we came to imagine because of that policy, you know, that they don't allow fireworks at all. Because we noticed these big flare-ups as well. We also noticed it during Christmas, there was a lot of firework usage as well. Not as severe as during the 4th of July, but it was still a big impact. This kind of like what it looks like on another, what it looks like on a normal day. Right, agree. So like 4th of July, very bad, very purple. And that's some of the things we do within this committee. And then, so yeah, if anybody has more questions or wants to participate. Thank you.
Would part of that December have to do with all wood burning fireplaces also?
Yes, it could also play into it, but the way they distinguish that is when you see the spikes in the data. But they don't give you data for a year, for 3 months, for 9 months, or as low as like the last 10 minutes. So it gives you different time ranges, and then they do it overall. So it's wood burning on a consistent basis. It will go higher, but it'll stay consistent as opposed to with fireworks. It's something like a peak that happens over a span of a day or a week, as opposed to the whole winter season. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I have another question. The fireworks, ever since I've been involved, for 14 years, I've been an issue. Ever since I've been. Now, that is a statistic. Is that statistic going to the council? When they make some of these decisions to let them know that our health is at risk because of all of the pollution being as bad as it is? You give that statistics to the council?
Yeah, we're currently working on publishing a paper with this guy on that pilot study, and we're planning to share with the school board and the city center. Yeah, so, and on the global community forums, it's like a stakeholder meeting, so this stakeholder meeting is created, so you all can have questions to the regulatory meeting to see what they're doing. We hope community forum will present the findings as well. The next one is gonna be in March. We don't have a date yet, but it will be in March. We're planning to do it, I think, either the Roosevelt Walker Community Center or, the Garfield Community Center. It's gonna have a little different focus. We're also trying to do one closer to the summer. We're gonna release this fund specific to the fireworks study. And I think we're gonna try and see if we can possibly partner up either, somewhere in the Wilshire Square neighborhood or, more central center.
Thank you. I have a question. Do your smoke monitors also, if I were to put them in an apartment where people smoke next door, do they capture that smoke that is traveling into my apartment?
Yes, so typically these monitors, you place them outside, you can place them inside, but even one of the requirements you do have to that they go outside. So if there's people smoking, they will pick that up. But same to like the fireworks, if it's like something in the instance, they will peak in that moment, and then once they feel it, they'll go away. If you have someone that's doing it consistently, like every hour, then you can show up every hour. So that stuff will also come out on there, because the, we're gonna measure the particulate matter, which is basically really fine particles that are, thinner than a strand of hair, so you can't see them with the naked eye. But the more of them that there is in our air, the more air is polluted. So every time we breathe that, it goes into our system and can cause a lot of harm. So with the smoke, it'll pick it up, any kind of smoke, any type of particle, rare metals, because we do have a lot of industries that work with metal plating, chrome, things like that. Going in that these do not tell us specifically, what is in those particles. But right now we're currently working on hopefully, getting a designation next year, what's called AB 617 community. Where hopefully we'll be able to get more resources from, the state. And other regulatory agencies that can bring us metal monitoring into the city, and they'll be able to tell us what the composition of those particles are. Yeah, because unfortunately, without that designation, in Santa Ana, a lot of those regulatory agencies won't monitor this.
In my view, volunteer, right? It's a volunteer.
Well, I'm actually an employee of a resident from the community, so we created the nonprofit, so I'm actually an employee. I'm the environmental justice program manager. Saeed, my partner over here, is the community organizer. But this committee is run by all volunteers. Right now, we have about 40 residents in this committee that do this work for environmental justice, set up these air monitoring, do these forums, and take classes. We're trying to get about 56 people in the community in the next couple of months. We have about 16 spaces left, especially for high school and college students. We have about 10 spots. We have any kids, grandkids that go to school here in Santa Ana High School or at the university, but still live here in Santa Ana. Feel free to pass my information. There are also flyers for that internship as well.
Question back there, please. Your pods, how far do they go out? Yeah.
So the cable that comes with it, I think is about 12 feet.
No, I'm talking about how they're not regular, how far does it go out? Does it go out to the end of this building?
Oh, the range.
Range, right?
I'm not exactly 100% sure of the range, but that's why we're going to come to the whole city with them. When we have more, if I could show you the map, prior to when we started work, there was only one monitor in the whole city. Now there's like about 15. Those are all the ones that we've been.
What would be optimal?
Optimal, the optimal that they asked it to be 2 miles apart, but because the city is so like compact, it's like about 4 or 5 miles wide in each direction, right? So we just try to have like 1 or 2 in each neighborhood. So we're trying to do it neighborhood based. That's why I'm taking this meeting today, since a lot of the neighborhoods are here. And then also specifically, out of the 64 neighborhoods in Santa Ana, 33 of them are considered disadvantaged. That means they experience more environmental pollution than other communities. So we're specifically trying to target on those, but right now we've opened it up to the city of the home.
We're getting a lot of problems with the drug smoking, where neighbors are smoking and it filters throughout the whole neighborhood. And would that pick that up, or how do we that?
They would pick it up because again, you're burning the material and it turns into particles. Well, again, like I said, it won't be able to tell you what the composition is, so it would pick it up. But I think that's more like on the legislation side for primary, for the policy.
How did it set around?
Yeah, so, I'll be here, if anyone needs my contact info, unfortunately, we're still in the process of getting business cards. Hopefully we'll have them soon, but if anybody needs my contact info, we have the flyer to have my contact info as well. And then if anyone's interested in internship, my local flyer, if anybody wants to hire, I'll take your information down as well. And my name is Will Joyce. Thank you so much.
And I believe it was, your group that was involved because of the groundwater contamination first here.
A lot of contamination and stuff.
Yeah. If you understand the aquifer or needless, there's actually three levels. We draw our water from the lower level, third level. And the top level is, at the low, first level, there was contamination. And then with these guys out there's a plan that we looked at, and so something water out, send it to the, send it to the, water recycling. If you ever want to see it through, that facility, ask, and we can. It's very interesting, and of course, my background's in engineering, so I know all that folks. And they do an excellent job. In fact, I basically water coming out of the filters, and this is pure as could be. And with detonation, how much water we recycle. And so.
I talked to you. I don't know when you want that.
I've told some of the board members of the school board here, is that right?
Yes.
Do they have any? Excellent. I'll give my hand.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Torres, I'm the board president for Santa Ana Unified.
Hi, folks. My name is Hector Bustos. I'm the board clerk, and I just joined the school board a month ago, so I'm fairly new.
We got, Lisa, we haven't done right around the school, see how the good things are happening. In my neck of woods, Saddleback is getting a stadium. Now, that stadium was bought against at first because we're located located, but finally we got together with your neighborhood. And they ended up locating, I think, very good spots, because we're not, in fact, they had much, and it's gonna be easy access, and I think, could be good, you have a stadium over there, and my other really be bad, and we went from a unified to now, one for kid, and it's called Academy. But to see what they were able to do for the young children, so it's a nice worker that they have, so. The school, and I keep telling the board meetings, you should send out more of all this we done. You are doing a good job of tax dollars that you have. And so we very much appreciate you being, thank you again for letting us get back in.
Yeah, we're working on pushing out all the great stuff, because there is a lot of good stuff going on in the district. There's always things that need to improve, but we're working on pushing out more of the good stuff, so folks know that there's good stuff, good teachers, good staff, good parents, good students.
What if you're going to put you on the spot? Concerned to me, graduation rates, are they going up in Santa Ana, or are we?
We don't have low graduation rates. Yeah, and with the pandemic, the data is a little off because everything's kind of thrown up, but we've been consistently on the rise. But now we're gonna have to check because we still have, the long-term issue of the pandemic with attendance and grading and all those kinds of things. But it's been some years since we had like really low graduation rates. So just.
How are you working with the problem of the Wi-Fi for a lot of us students?
So when the pandemic first hit, we pushed out the Chromebooks and we had these little Wi-Fi things, and they didn't work well, even though but that would have to be collaborative between the city and the school district to figure out. There's some models and some other folks in some other like districts and cities. But that would take some work between both agencies in terms of jurisdiction, cost. I think we even tried having like a van and a bus with like a Wi-Fi signal, and that only worked like 10 houses. And so we tried, but it would require some infrastructure. So
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
yes.
I'll ask speaker tonight, and I told my students to them that last minute, Bill South in charge of our public works. So anybody has any questions? I know this is the guy that you wonder who tears up the streets and he's. We have more public road projects going on in the street right now than ever before. But it's actually improved in the city, so there is good light at the end, it's through the develops good efforts and matching funds and different funds and see all this construction in there, so, you know.
Before I have a couple of updates for you on public works agency, but before I start, I'd like to bring your attention to a yellow card over there with all the phone numbers that you may need to contact us in the same time. We do have a flyer on how to use the My Center app. Please put it on your phone and use it because it's an awesome application that the city has implemented in the last couple of years, and it's keeping us busy. Not only the speaking of trash and bulk items, pickups, abandoned items, graffiti, cars, it's in the app, issues that, and like I said, it is speaking. Like Carl mentioned, we do have in the back our new calendar for the year. Use it, it's resource that does have some contact information and also implement dates on when they do this for the resident and when council meets. That's in the back. I would like to also bring your attention to an event that the public works agency will be having this year. That like we did last year, was called a public works family event, and there's a flyer of that is on May 20th of 2023 coming up. We held this event this last year, and we will hold it again with a fun event where the public works agency will show off our equipment, our public facility on Walnut Station across from Santa Ana High School. We will be closing Walnut week, and we will have music. We have Santa Ana Unified coming in to put their band and a lot of other events, music and food. So please put it in your calendar and can't come forward, but we'd love to see you. In addition, we have recently published our parkway improvement guideline. The parkway is an area between the sidewalk and the curb and the public. So we put out guidelines, and we always have guidelines on how to improve the parkway. So we just recently added synthetic grass, which means now you as a resident can improve on the parkway or using synthetic grass. There's a standard here that you do it yourself. It is something unique for us to promote water conservation. So use it to do it yourself. No, there is no funding. However, as part of the model in conjunction with the city, there is $2 rebate for converting the grass area in your front yard or backyard to drop on. There is a so that's still a bit. There is no it is not where the city pays. It's an incentive for every square foot that you remove or leave. It's $2. New updates. We have been public works agency. Just last year, we took over their park maintenance. Before park maintenance was under parks, now park maintenance, the upkeep of all of our 62 open spaces, including parks, is being maintained by public works. Something new, we are very proud of what we've accomplished last year in terms of improving on the parks. We're putting a lot of funding, money into improving the parks right now, and I believe that parks have improved tremendously in the line. So I hope you have seen that difference. So in the same time, we have replaced quite a bit of sidewalks throughout the city. In every district, we have been targeting locations where replacement sidewalks, the city council that provided us with, I want to say $3 million for sidewalk replacement last year, and we are actively replacing as many sidewalks as possible. We do have a list of sidewalk locations to be maintained, about 44,000. So we're going through it as we can. Funding is little, well, I can tell you, funding 3 years ago, it didn't exist. But now we have more, and we're making as much as we can, replacing those sidewalks in every location in the city. We're not just focusing on one area. We are spreading the project all throughout the 6 districts that we have. In the same time, just like to let you know that we over the last year, we received over 22,000 work orders to maintain the city, all ranging from graffiti to abandoned items, pick up trash, and many other things that we do is on our app. So we've been really busy trying to keep the city clean. We also planted 500 trees this last year. We also hired a new security company called Linkage. We had Alliance before, now we have Linkage. The Alliance company has been fantastic. They are actually doing routes in our parks, 24/7 coverage for all of our parks and city facilities, the libraries, community center. And so it's been great to have Lions as a security company for us, and the city manager and the office have given us quite a bit of funding to make that program a lot stronger, and I think it's we also attended over 150 neighborhood associations last year. Public works agencies have been active. We've been with you. I recognize a lot of our faces here, and we're happy to be with you in your meeting, to support you, but also if you have any questions, concerns, you can always contact us. Our plans for next year, a couple of things that I would like to share with you. City, our public works agency is conducting the residential permit parking study. And so we have hired a consultant to help us with that effort. So it is a long-term, not long-term, but it's a process where the consultant will be studying the existing rules, future rules, and what we have in terms of the program, and hopefully will come will provide us with recommendations to our city council to either keep the program the same way it is or make modifications, whatever the findings are. So once the study is finished, we will come to we'll go to our council to present findings and make recommendations to them. In addition, one last thing I'd like to share with you that the city is and will be conducting a street light master plan where we will be looking at the entire city and identify locations where there is no street lights, but also areas where it's underlit and make recommendations to prioritize the areas and hopefully have the funding to install more street lights if the neighborhood desires. That's my update. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
You were thinking about fixing the sidewalks, and we added having, there's a couple of streets that are too far to don't pass sidewalks. And people have to go on Civic Center without the sidewalk, and you know that is a real busy little street, a big street. So if we propose that, would that?
Sure. And certainly locations, I know what you were talking about. It depends whether the city actually owns a portion where a sidewalk can be installed.
Well, the house has been teared down and it's under construction. I mean, I think it's going to housing, the construction or whatever has slowed down, but would the developer add those? Consider the request to have the sidewalks? There's nothing lot for over 100 years. I mean, it had a house and with more farmlands like original people are with. And so, but that's one of the few areas that has not been the sidewalk, and they also need a single line there too.
It's signal light.
Yeah, it's, people speed up from Fairview up to Ray, but 50 miles an hour. But there wasn't that little dip there, and they go faster. That's kind of a sore point, although you did, I want to thank you, King and 17th Street, I mean, that I did the same about it. That's something that we discussed at the neighborhood meeting on Tuesday, so we're great to hear that, and that permanent parking too, we'd like to get in that date. That in itself.
So we go ahead and email me on that sidewalk. I am not planning and building, but a lot of times planning and building, when there is a development on a new construction, they can condition the developer to dedicate a portion of the land to be a sidewalk. But before we actually build a sidewalk, we will need to have completely right of way that we can actually go in and build a sidewalk. Go ahead and email me on that. Hopefully I'll be able to. Go ahead.
I have a question. There is any limit of pickups, handling items in the sidewalk?
One more time.
There is any limit of pickups? You know, like people abandon, you know, like little mattresses in the sidewalk?
Is there a limit to how many pickups for big trash items that are left on the sidewalk?
But homeowner talks so many times they can call for the free items they pick up.
Like,
She's trying to figure out how many times they come.
Because then, second in Shelton, there is always, you know, like, I am the only one, I think I call the city, you know, like and I am the only one to be calling all the time, and I don't find like they need, you know, like or be in a phone because I'm the only one calling. Because they
you consider this an illegal dumping.
yeah, there's my.
There's a difference if, you know, I don't want the resident to call and the public, we make an arrangement with the public to put the bulk item on the sidewalk for them to come and pick it up. That is a service that the public will provide you with, and it was in the contract with the public, the new contract. But if it's illegal dumping, then what you can do is use the app to report it. And you know, I don't know where that stuff comes from. I do drive the city almost every morning, and I report illegal dumping and graffiti on a daily basis.
I live in this neighborhood too. I live on Third, right there, and there's a lot of stuff that gets left. And if she's the only one calling, it's kind of a heavy burden on her.
Yeah, because in the past, you know, I am the one who goes people containers, but because of healthy reasons, I cannot walk anymore because you have to go walking, asking all the people who want to be and I cannot walk anymore. So they used to look like people know that I am the one, so they don't really know that I'm and there's 3 people markets right now, they look awful in the sidewalk. And I leave it to see if anybody's not there, that's for a whole month.
It's a dense area with a lot of apartments, and folks may not know that they can get free pickups. So if there's always in front of the apartment complexes on Third.
Once contract with Republic settled down a little bit, and we get all the things done, is to reach out to all the apartment complex owners and operators, educated about how they can report or ask for bulky item pickers. That is in the contract, and there is almost unlimited amount of bulky items that can be picked up by the public. But we need to find that we need to really work with the public to get that logistics going, because it hasn't been 100% done with the public, because they've been trying to get the residential and the commercial to go under control.
And I think renters are less likely to know, a long-term renter, and renters are less likely to.
There is no fear. It used to be where, you know, we can call directly the waste management at that time. Now, every but I can pick up independent of the operator or the owner of the account. That's something that we fought for,
I've changed, but I'd like to get a status on the referendum creation. Where we're at, that we might get that finished in the near future.
Yes, it is in the works, it is under my review, and the station right now, as you can tell, what's happening is there's building the transmission pipelines to connect to the sewer and the main sewer on this floor. That is about a week away from the actual connection. So I believe last time I looked at the schedule, it's April when they will be finished. It is a complicated project because the sewage, as you know, there is no valves on the sewer line. You can't shut them off. Stuff keeps coming. And it's a challenge because what's going to happen once the new station is functional and tested, then we're going to convert the direction of where the sewage go right now to the other location in the new. So it is, we can do it, there is a plan, but it's not, it's pretty complicated where we have to make sure that the existing station works, and test it, and then start converting that the direction of the sewer from where it goes right now to the new. But I want to say April of this year is
And
going to be.
we all know what has happened there, but with the construction now, the way the housing traps and they're kind of but.
We're trying to get out of that inspection as soon as we can.
We've all been very.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The area I'm want to talk about is graffiti. Graffiti between Santa Ana and Garden Grove, 17th and Harbor. They are not actually taking down their graffiti, but it looks like it's Santa Ana. So that's the demarcation line between the two. Owners have been actually sending messages to whatever it is in Garden Grove, but they're not doing anything. You got a new rail system coming in right there. I was wondering if you could bolster, hey, get some graffiti taken down here, or is it gonna happen when it completes that they'll do that?
It's on which intersection again?
17 Park. It's a little coffee shop there and a gas station. Yeah.
Now, if it's not banana, I will reach out to Valley Road and see if we can take care of it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
What is our budget? Years ago, they said we had a $3 billion abatement budget. And again, it's been 14 years that I've been on it. What is your budget for that now? Because there is so much more graffiti today than there has been in the past. And I know that it's abated, but.
Our budget is $1.6 million. It was, I don't think it was that high in the past, but it's, it used to be a lot less than 1.6 million. What we've added recently is the parking structure that CDA has operated for a while in the downtown area. Council so that it's a priority for us to, for deal with the graffiti in the parking structure itself. So we added that, but also in the railroad track, the wall. That is also a graffiti magnet. So we added those for our graffiti contractor to take care of, and therefore the budget went from, I believe, 1.2 to 1 million. That's a lot of money, regardless. I would want that to go to a huge and such, but unfortunately, it's sad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question regarding the communication that you folks could put together with the neighborhood leaders. I'm thinking primarily about scheduled work. I know you have lots of emergency things. We all understand that. But when work is being scheduled, like the sidewalks or the curbs, it would really be helpful to the neighborhood leaders if you could communicate to them ahead of time that that's going to happen in our neighborhoods. As you can imagine, whenever any work starts, then the phones begin to ring and everybody wants to know what's going on. And I think it would be a wonderful thing if you could have the contact information of the neighborhood residents and your office notify us a week or two ahead of time when work is scheduled, so that we could share that with our residents. That would be very, very helpful to everybody.
Sure, we'll do a better job next time. But we do, like I mentioned, we are at the neighborhood association, and before we start work, we notify the resident. We put it on and make sure it happens on the contract with the notification, door by door, about what we're doing in the.
That's usually just good for days.
Good to see it. Again, you know, a lot of times, a 2 week notification for a construction project is sometimes difficult to do because of other conditions, availability of concrete, and many other conditions. So we'll do a better job next. Thank you.
So, from someone here regarding the permitted working on residential streets, my home residents with the final recommendations from the consultant, and what is the cost of the consultant?
Sure. I believe the contract with the consultant was $700,000. And we are estimating about a year, 12 months from today to come back to the council for recommendation. But at the same time, I was at a meeting with the consultant just recently, and they have at least 30 meetings scheduled with the neighbors. Survey, we have a survey coming, and we have neighborhood association meetings, focus group. So we are going all out because we don't know sensitive the topic is, we've seen it here. So I'm not going to keep it alone. I'm going to make sure that everything is being addressed, and we at least come to all of the neighborhood associations and whoever wants to talk to us about the program. We're going to need that, and that's what we're going. That's why it may take a little longer, but we want to come back with solid recommendation to our council.
You know, what the results of the study that was done in regards to parking for the park, like that study was, quite a few years ago, that was, you know, in the works. But we never got the results. Do you know if they happened? Did they ever?
You know, I'm not sure about the specific part, because I know we've done a pilot in the northeast part of the city. But not the specific part for, I can check with staff to see what if there was a study and what that was. Sure. Yeah, well.
Just if you can, I know we have a joint meeting next week, but if you can be in contact with the district, because I think there's parent groups that would want input on permit parking.
Well,
And maybe the neighborhood associations are not, like, sometimes the groups overlap, sometimes they don't, so. That's another way to get at residents who may not be as connected.
What is it called?
There's a bunch of different parent groups, you just have to contact the district.
Okay.
What is your first project on the expansion of Warren, Main Street to, Grant Street? I know you have 7 houses left. I drive it every day there. And could you kind of give me a approximate termination date?
I'm sorry.
Main Street to Grand Warner.
Okay, we just recently completed one property that is, this last council meeting, we authorized for a resolution of necessity, which gives us some negotiation power for eminent domain if we don't come to an agreement with the owner. There's one property left.
I know what it is too.
Right, so we have that approved, and that's the only one that's left. So with that being done in terms of acquisition, then we will be starting that project. I don't have a date. I can check with our engineers and what the time frame for from Oak to Grant. That's the project.
Correct.
Yeah. So let me. You can email me. I'll get back to you on the exact time frame.
Thank you very much.
Acquisition of the property has been done. Go ahead.
Not a question, but recommendation, I guess, it's 33 or well on complaints about a little round things off the, is there any way you can do it to be reflective instead of red, because I think a lot of people just put it down during the rain, and, maybe it was reflective, will be a little more helpful.
We'll do that, thank you. There is, yeah, I think it's red, but, you know, red is fading. The project is not finished, and he plans to put some reflective on the curb. Now, I believe it's gotten a lot better with the striping. If you drive it now, you will see a line that actually guides the cars away from them. But we did look at all of the accidents. I know I have a Facebook account. I've seen all the accidents and the complaints. We did connect with our police department, and 90% of the complaints were speeding, and the rest were due. There were a problem in the beginning, but now that we have a slightly one, it's a lot better if you want to try that again. Differences. By the way, South Lane from Chestnut to McFadden is not there. The gas company is going to come in and do gas company work from that section on Main, and once they're done, they're going to pave it for. Therefore, it's not. If you drive it right now, you will notice that it's not paved and finished, but that's the reason is we don't want to duplicate the work, pave it, and then have the gas company come back and take the speed up. So there is a gas line upgrade project that will be taking place in the next, I want to say, 3 weeks. Go ahead.
Regarding gas line project, we have, gas line facilities in Morrison Park. And there's a couple areas where the sidewalks are still not repaired. And I know that most of them are, but there's just a couple that aren't. Who should I contact about that? Because I'm told the gas company that was supposed to do that. And they did a great job when they were working, but now they're gone. And I don't, there's only 2 that I know.
Tell me what the locations are approximately, this way I can get the inspector,
It
because
goes on all the way between Orange Way and Oregon.
all of the,
I have pictures.
Chris,
But it's all of them.
hi, Michelle.
Hi.
I'll follow up on that for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
yeah, the history of information, the gas company, you do work, they pull a permit. And through the permit, we will know that they're working, we do have an inspector to, inspect their work.
Yeah, it's right where it started, so it's a process of that fact.
Yeah, she was just busy today. She had like over. Yes, she was like a principal, something principal administration.
Once work is done, well, it will be done to be compliant. So, but there's a lot.
I just started out my intern, senior administrative intern. So, yeah.
The law requires that every time we do work in a city, that is in close proximity to all the program and is not in the we have. So there may not be a time frame, fix these things or upgrade. But every time we do our work, we work in the city. We will have funding for wheelchair racks. We plenty do that money for private. Even when we do in sidewalks, if we are working in an area where they require the upgrade the wheelchair and install them, we do it as part of the sidewalk.
And this is about 5G cell towers. Is the community notified when one goes up? And with permission to ask or comments?
We should be notified through the company if you are within a certain radius.
Well, we're at the intersection of Broadway, one Broadway and Fifth Street. And so there's state property, there's federal property, and there's Santa Ana property that comes together there. And so if one entity was doing it, would they notify the people who are close by?
Yeah, I mean, if you are within that radius, you should be notified, and they do post in the pool itself, that 5 feet is being proposed for that location.
There is,
There would be, if there is a proposed one.
even though another entity did it, we would be never. We were in that.
I believe so.
And
Is there one that installed, but we were not notified?
we suspect it was, and it was in a building that was enlarged.
Is it in a private, public, private?
Is it?
Is
No,
it in
no,
a street line?
it's within the extension of the building.
Oh,
It's what? It's-
so that's not public.
Oh, I see, so it could be.
I'm talking about public works where.
Yeah. Right,
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm in charge of. Everything on site is done.
so it could happen anyway.
And you notice public works is not a fellow, we had was in my neighborhood. We put up a 5 G and what up on top of the board, and so, I'm just being around the pool, those neighbors control the things that we can buy off the pool. Man, I'm sorry, you can't.
Thank you. Question, when we report to your department about an issue with the public, do you investigate and then let us know what the results are, or how does that work?
When I get a complaint, I forward that to, our staff, or also directly to the public, and we rely on the public to come back and report to you, and we monitor the progress of whether the issues and resolve.
All right. Now, I do want to say one thing. I've been working with your staff for, since you had me connect us with this last year. And this lady here should get a raise. Let me tell you. Anyone who calls after hours and she's calling me from her phone, her car phone, that's her dedication to the honor. She's really has.
Thank you. Thank you. That was perfect. Before we disperse, we have a more. In favor. Yes, you don't know, we have a ranking control in the city. Talking about rent control board, we need to know what they're all that's happening.
Things are major. One of the unique things that we did this year, we're approached by a neighbor. Because how many people see dogs running on the street? All the time. So she approached us with the neighborhood association by a microchip device. And the board voted on it, and we did. Then she held a microchip event, and she, at her house, with a volunteer event tech doing it, for the price of $20, which is what it was. And then people else who had the dog microchips come there and have them added to the neighborhood register. And then based on what the board was saying, two other things we have, and we have dogs.